Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman Khan and I'm here with, now that the dust has settled on his fourth round KO victory, the one and only Anthony Yarde. Anthony, how's life treating you?
Life's good, man. Um, yeah, I feel good. I feel good. There's a weight off my shoulders, as you can imagine. And yeah, feel like I'm back.
Has it soaked in yet, that victory? I mean, there was a real rivalry between you both that a lot of people enjoyed watching that. But for you, has it soaked in the victory?
I feel like it's weird to say this, but it soaked in like as soon as it happened. It was a moment where I knew that was needed. It was a moment where um I felt like I knew exactly what was going to happen. How I was going to get the job done because I fought him before, so I knew what he would bring to the table. Um, knew what I'm capable of, and I know that there was a jab, and I said, yeah, with him doing that, it's going to open up a lot of things for me. So it was a good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, let's go to the fight. I mean, just beforehand, Lyndon said he revealed information that you hurt him to the body in the first fight. Did that surprise you and almost set up the game plan for the second fight?
I said to him immediately. I said to him at the press conference, yeah, this you see there's a video of us talking after we done a face to face, and I said, "You're gonna learn." I said, "You should have never told me that I hurt you." And he said, "Why not? Why not?" I said, "You're gonna learn." And then when we done the face off on BT Sports, he says he said that I think that I hurt him with a shot to the head, and I said, "No, I don't. I know exactly what shot I hurt you with." And he goes, "No, you think it was a shot to the head, but it was a shot to the body." I said, "I know it was a left hook to the body." And he goes, "No, he goes, you only know that because I told you that." And I said, "You didn't tell me that." And I said, "I know." And he goes, "Yeah, but you would have pounced on me." I said, "No, I wouldn't have." I said, "That's not how I fight." I said, it was the last round. You held on." I said, and then the bell rang. But then I just kept nodding. I said, but I knew the game plan anyway from the beginning.
I mean, going into the fight now, were you surprised by? I mean, the first time around, Lyndon was clinical with the jab. This time round, he wasn't as forceful with jab. But tell me why that was, and tell me what you were seeing as the rounds progressed.
I knew exactly what it was going to be like. You know, he still landed a couple good jabs. And again, that's my lapse in concentration. He has got a good jab. His jab is very good, but a jab is not going to keep me off of somebody. Like it was laughable when I was hearing all these things about it was Lyndon. And again, one thing I've learned from the first fight is perception. In boxing, is perception. You know, one judge carried it to me by 5 rounds. It was a split decision loss. I can't talk about this enough. It's not like people were talking like he knocked me out, or people were talking like it was a dominating victory. It was a split decision loss, meaning it was a mix in opinions. One judge gave it to me by 5 rounds. The other two judges gave it to him by 1 round. That fight could have gone either way. So it's not like he was doing all these tremendous things to stop me from doing anything. I was just making bad decisions. People know how I fight. People know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm capable of. Probably more than other people know I'm capable of. But it was just my decision making. Me choosing to, you know, not really get hit and just, wait on the outside and work on something different. Bad decision making, and that again, I put that down to my head not being there. My mind was not in that fight. I was making decisions whilst I was going round by round, weird decisions as well. That's why it's so frustrating for me to have to actually deal with the fact that on my record, um, on a split decision, I've got a loss to Lyndon Offer. It's so hard for me to have to deal with that. Even though I've stopped him in the second fight, it's still on my record. That's the first fight. That's gonna bother me. I can't lie. But as I say, things happen for a reason, and that ain't gonna happen to me again. that the, that happening is probably the best thing that happened for my career because they brought back Anthony Yarde. Just trust me on that one.
Anthony, what about the knockout when it came? How did you set that up? And did you feel that maybe Lyndon could have been could have continued from what you saw?
But listen, I saw some people talking, saying that, he got up at 8. What happened after the referee waved off? He went straight back to the floor. Come on, man. Sorry about that.
No problem.
After the referee stopped the fight, he went straight back to the floor. That wasn't a choice. He could. I hit him with 2 clean body shots. And again, I can see the effects because I'm standing in front of him. Sorry, brother. People keep calling me. Sorry. I'm seeing the effects, because I'm right in front of him. I hit him to the body, and his legs are going. So then again, I threw the same shot again, exact same shot. I saw what the opening was, and I threw to the body. At the time, I was thinking to myself, his ribs are probably broken. Because again, the last opponent I fought in August, there was a lot of speculation that I broke his ribs, and it was the same shot I threw. If you look, go back and watch the two tapes. It was the exact same combination I threw, same shot that landed, and I was thinking to myself, his ribs might be broken. So when he went straight back to the floor and he was getting the gas and air for like 5 minutes, I said to someone on his team was saying he got up at 8. That's bullshit. I said, do you want your brother? Do you want him to get hurt? Like, this is a serious sport. There's a reason he's sitting there. I know it's a precaution, but there's a reason he's sitting there with getting gas and air. There's a reason he went straight back down. Because the people that know that know. But when people are looking from the outside, they're gonna always have these excuses. Lyndon's a very good fighter. He's a very effective fighter. But again, I'm a level above, I think.
It was a very nice moment between you, the two teams afterwards, where you all embrace, you and Lyndon, and then Tunde and Pat. Can you talk me through that moment?
I feel like it's just the fight's done now. I like the culture of the gypsies. When you see them and they have their fist fights, fair and square. Just like a boxing match, and then afterwards they shake hands. Regardless of what happened while they're fighting, afterwards they shake hands. It's almost like a friendly dispute. Like a way to settle a dispute that can't be settled with words. Afterwards, it's settled. Everyone's got their frustration out, and you shake hands. And for me, that's real. That's just being real. So there was a lot said. Again, I want to open up about this as well because everyone knows what I'm like. I don't talk bad about no boxer because I understand what we all go through. Some boxers go through more than others, some sacrifice more than others, some put more work in. But we're all in there, It's not easy to go out in front of thousands of people, sometimes millions of people that are watching, on YouTube. It's millions really. And perform, fight a guy one-on-one. So I saw Pat Barrett say some horrible things. And then I said to myself, you know what? You see what happens? That's not good. He said that Lyndon was going to knock me out and my career is going to be over. What kind of fuckery? Why would you say that? Do you get what I'm saying? So from that moment, I heard that, and I saw that after the fight. From the moment I saw that, I've lost a lot of respect. Maybe if I see him and I speak to him about it, oh, for fuck's sake, man. Sorry, brother. I told you my phone's like a hotline right now. Everyone wants to get in contact with me. But yeah, after Pat Barrett, after I saw that he said that about me, I looked at the whole situation so much different, like so differently. I said, out of all the people that call me out, I gave Lyndon the opportunity to fight me. There's people that called me out. Jose Burton was calling me out, but he was very disrespectful. There's other boxers that have called me out that are below me because Lyndon Arthur was below me at the time I fought him. Yeah, the first time. I'm sure we'll all agree on that. So for me to give him the opportunity, yes, he had belts, and yes, it was for something, and it made sense for me to fight him because he had a certain belt, etc. But I could have fought someone else. I could have fought someone that was foreign that would have got me, kept me with the same ranking, and just coast it until I got the world title shot. But I gave Lyndon a fight because, again, I'm like, everyone in this sport works hard. I've met him, and if I'm going to give anyone an opportunity, because that's what it's about, it's an opportunity, I'll give it to him. There's no bad blood between us. I'll give it to him. But then all this other stuff happened after, so I was like, all right, cool. You don't want to test me. And then I'm seeing my man say he's gonna knock me out. My career's gonna be over. I never said anything bad like that. You get what I'm saying? Just because I knocked out Lyndon, don't mean his career's over. He can go out and do amazing things after this. And that's what I want. I want him to go on and have a good career. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, to say that about any boxer, you're gonna end their career is not good. I don't care what no one says. Because that's what we do. You know, we here trying to change our lives around and, you know, inspire the next generation. So say you're gonna end my career, that's just, there's no need for that. Absolutely no need. So I don't respect that.
I know we're pushed for time, Anthony. I've got a few more questions for you.
No, man, I'm here, man. I'm here. My
Cool,
phone
good
keeps
man.
ringing, so I owe you some more minutes.
Good man, good man. You're saying you're wishing Lyndon the best in his career. Does that best in his career include a third fight potentially down the line with you?
Well, we don't know what's gonna happen. You know, he could rise his way up again. We could fight for a world title, you know, in the future. You never know. I'm not gonna count out anything in the sport of boxing. You don't know what's gonna happen. We could both move up to cruiserweight one day and end up fighting there. You know, he could have 2 of the world championship belts. I could have 2. Like, it could, you don't know what's gonna happen in the sport of boxing. But I feel like that score at this level, because that was a domestic fight, if we're being honest, I feel like that was settled. You know, there was no argument about who won the fight. You know, it was, I felt like I won every round. Round 2 was negotiable, if I'm being hard on myself. But I felt like rounds 1, 3, and 4 were dominating rounds. You know, they wasn't close at all. Rounds 2, I feel like I still won that round, but it was debatable. You know, I'm an honest person. When I watch back a fight, I'm a very honest person. And then I got the knockout victory. So I feel like in boxing, I feel like that's one of them fights where the public will probably say, "What is this about?"
And now, Anthony, in boxing, criticism is attracted at all angles, whether you win, whether you lose. And although not everything will be alleviated, do you feel that with the performance here that you and your team gave, do you feel like you've answered a lot of the criticisms that came from the first fight to you and Tunde?
100%. But again, this just shows you not only what boxing fans can be like. I'm not going to say all boxing fans. It don't only show you what boxing fans can be like. It shows you what human beings can be like. You know, people are never satisfied. People always, they love the downfall of somebody. You know, they love the negativity. They just want to be able to say, see, I told you this will happen, and then leave them there. You know, they always want to see a negative outcome. But I personally don't understand that. I've never understood it. I've always been a person because I've struggled in my life before. I've always been one of them people. You know, when I see someone doing well, I'm so happy for them. But after the first fight with Lyndon Alpha, this shows you a bit about my character. Even though, you know, I didn't get the decision I wanted and I felt I won the fight, I still congratulated Lyndon. I messaged him once I calmed down, you know, I think it was the day after or 2 days after, I messaged him and said, you know what, congratulations. I'm just pissed off it's at my expense. Yeah. Which is understandable, but I'm still happy that someone has elevated in their career. You don't know what someone's been through in private. You know, you don't know what that moment means to that person. So I congratulated him because I was happy for him. I was just pissed off it was at my expense. So do I care about any negativity? Definitely not. You know, anyone that's being positive and saying nice things, it's all love. I'm so thankful. You know, it gives me a nice warm feeling. And anyone that supports me, again, it's love. And then yeah, man, the future's bright.
You mentioned about the level of the team and the camp being at where it was, and you needed to bring in experience. You brought in James Cook for that experience to raise your level. Do you feel like the team's level has been raised with what you've done over the weekend?
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. James Cook again plays a clinical role. You know, he's helped a lot in terms of just little words being said. You know, experience. And sometimes in boxing, when someone that's experienced says something, they're talking from experience. So you know, I asked him in the change room. You know, I just said, "Oh, James," I said, "Did you stretch before you went out to fight?" And he said, "Stretch for what?" He goes, "I'll warm up when I get in the ring." You know, I said, "What about warm up? Do you do like heavy pad work?" He's like, "No, just little tapping. You know, just warm up my muscles. You know, warm up your muscles, and then when you get in the ring, you're warm. You know, you bounce on the way to the ring. You do a little shake out, just like as if you're sparring. I said, you know what, that's experience information. Other fighters are different, other fighters in the change room giving it. Other fighters in the change room giving it, but again, everyone's different, but it's all about experience and getting information from experienced people.
So a first loss for Lyndon, something you've suffered, you've experienced that, you went through that. It's what life throws at you for boxers. It's something that most boxers won't ever escape. What would be your advice to Lyndon, who's going through this lower moment in his career now?
It's just my character. My advice to anyone that suffers loss, because in boxing's that's your career. There's people that they lose jobs. There's people that go out there and don't get job interviews. They don't get the job. There's people that go out there and start a business and it don't work. There's people that go out there and they want to be a chef. They cook a meal. They get on Master Chef and it don't work out. There's so much people that go through trials and tribulations. So it's about your character. How are you going to deal with it? Are you going to rise back up? Are you going to be? Because I feel like defeat. The real definition of defeat is when something stops you. I learned, and I've showed that I learned as well from that first fight with Lyndon Arthur. I learned, from the Kovalev fight. I learned. As I said this in the build-up as well. With the Kovalev fight, I learned, but I didn't learn as much as I did with the Lyndon Arthur fight, because the Kovalev fight, I got a lot of credit. The public was saying, "Oh, you done so well. I respect you for even going to Russia," and I kind of like thrived off of that. I was like, yeah, I did go to Russia. I did fight. At the time, the most dangerous light heavyweight in the country. I did, go to his backyard. I did do all this. I did do that. I did only have 12 amateur fights. I did, almost knock him out. I did almost win the fight. But with this fight, the first fight with Lyndon Arthur, I got so much criticism. So much, which I think I needed, people started writing me off. And it showed you how much criticism I got, because in the second fight, from what I'm hearing, people had Lyndon as a favorite. And that's bizarre to me, and that just shows you what people are like. People are quick to switch. They're quick to switch. And you just got to focus on yourself. If you're focused about the opinion of others, it can affect you heavily.
Two more final ones from me, Anthony. I'll let you go. You're now primed for Frank Warren said that the winner will be in line to face the winner of Joe Smith Jr. and Callum Johnson. How confident are you in beating the winner of that fight?
I'm extremely confident. Extremely confident. I'll probably watch that fight. Cause, I don't really watch current boxers. Unless I know them just to support. Or unless they're like on a mainstream, like a pay-per-view big fight. But I'm gonna watch that fight. Definitely, I'm gonna watch that fight. That's another thing that I've changed in my career, is analyzing my opponents. I don't really watch my opponents myself, but that's something we change within our team. Putting game plans together, and not just me working off my cerebral capacity and me, freestyling. It's about being specific and then having game plans. And again, this is just something to do with experience. I do think I have the beating of both of the fighters, and yeah, man, I'm excited for the future.
And finally, I want to use the word saga, being that we're both fans of a certain program. I'd use the word saga for what you experience in terms of the period where, leading up to Lyndon Arthur fight, both in the ring and outside the ring. At the end of the saga with Lyndon, what would you tell the Anthony Yarde back then of what you know now? What piece of advice would you go back and tell them in terms of your personal growth, in terms of everything that's happened? What would you say to him?
I would just say, well done. That's me being 100% honest. I'll say, well done. I would say, your character, everyone can say there's something, but your character is shown through how you deal with your experiences. So I would say, well done for showing your true character, showing you are a champion, showing you're a warrior, showing that you can overcome adversity, and showing that trust in God, or faith in God, should I say, hard work, and belief in yourself can do massive things for your life. And just to keep going, and look forward to the future. Be excited for the future, should I say?
Anthony, an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for giving me your time as well. Much appreciated. So I'll let you go. Thank you so much for speaking to Boxing Social.
You're welcome, man. See you soon, bro.